Hi, I'm Amy Tyson, and welcome to the March 2024 edition of my monthly Metaphysics Mastery session. We are just about to enter the month of March. It begins on March 5th and goes until April 3rd. If you are wanting to participate in the more personalized version of this video, make sure that you scan this QR code here, and you'll be able to generate your own personal Vasi chart. And when I get to that session in this video, you'll be able to know how the month will be affecting you at a more personal level. So the month of March is divided into two parts. Let me shrink myself down here a little bit so I'm not covering any of the information here. So like I said, March is the month of the fire rabbit, or Ding Mao. And it begins on March 5th and runs through April 3rd. For those of you who aren't familiar with the work that I do, we're looking at the solar calendar, and the month's energy doesn't switch until we're a couple days into the Gregorian month, as is defined by most of the calendars we all use out there. So this is going to be the month of the fire rabbit, or it is the month of the fire rabbit. And the image is of a candle burning on a cold night. Its flame is visible for miles because it's dark out, and yin fire, which is candle fire or forest fire, the two extremes, can be visible at its brightest when it is dark outside. But one gust of wind could put this flickering candle out. So the month of March is a tale of two parts. The first part, we have the 3 spring months all together. And it's the continuing development of growth and expansion from the month of February, which was the fire tiger. The 3 spring animals are tiger, rabbit, and dragon, and they facilitate growth because it's all about wood, and wood is about rejuvenation. It's about growing. We're moving into the middle of the spring animals with the rabbit, which means we're in the middle of the transformation and manifestation energy. This month is when we can finally see some of the projects we've started taking shape and actually having or showing signs of tangible success and results. Now, this is a little short-lived, but it means you want to keep going with the projects that you've started now and continue growing them. This is what the fire rabbit pillar looks like. So it's sitting on top of my head here in the video. It's yin fire way on top, and then the rabbit underneath. And the inside the rabbit carries yin wood, as I've been talking about them being a spring animal. It is the vision of the earthly branch feeding the heavenly stem, so wood feeding fire. So we have a second layer of energy that's associated with this month. This is what we call the harm formation between the dragon year of 2024 and the rabbit month of this year. This is a less favorable formation, as it can result in some unexpected or unpleasant surprises. The cause of these unexpected and surprises that could happen would be neglected growth or failure to stay up to date in terms of your personal learning, your renewal, or your continuous expansion, despite having all sorts of opportunities to do so over the last 2 years. So you need to really be thinking, what have you done the past 2 years to make yourself better? Another cause of delays and obstacles or feelings of stagnancy during this month may be your inability to let go of the past or anything that does not serve your personal or soul growth. The advice would be, take some time to look at what's blocking you and look at it from a different perspective. So if you find yourself frustrated or emotionally down this month, because 2024 is going to play with our emotions, and in March, if you're feeling more emotionally down, take some time to figure out why. There's some astrological things that will be going on in March as well, specifically the new moon, which is pretty early in the month. I believe it's March 10th. And then the penumbral lunar eclipse, which is later on in the month at the 25th, I believe. New moons are always representative of new beginnings. And this month, this eclipse, the end of the month, is likely to show us how relationship dynamics need to change immediately to allow us to have a more meaningful 20 years. So, period 9, which is starting now. That will show us how do we need to change ourselves? How do we need to change relationships? What relationships do we need to transform? Which relationships do we need to end? And what will be required of all the new connections we make from this month forward. So, this month forward, we need to be a little more clear what we want from relationships and how our relationships we want them to look in the future. So this is the first of several months because this is only the second month of 2023, and this is the first of several months that have layered energies like this. So in 2023, we had a lot of pure chi. There was no layering going on, which means we could make huge strides forward with the one specific energy. Now we have some layered and deep energies coming throughout this year, and that's going to allow us to have some personal and powerful realignments and growth, personal growth of ourselves. Many of us are focused on everything external to us, and we measure whether or not we're moving forward by what we see going on outside of us. I would like to remind you that inner growth of your emotional world is critical, as that is what truly forms what happens in your external world. So, what's going on inside of you affects what you see outside of you. It's how you vibrate from within that brings your experiences that you have in your physical world. So, as within, so without, what you vibrate is what you see on the outside of you. The hexagram for this month of March is called decrease or decreasing. This might sound a little scary, but it's actually going to be okay. It's telling us that we need to let something go in order to make movement forward. If we hold on to absolutely everything in our lives, there's no room for anything new. It's asking us to let something go in order to make some movement forward. Because if we hold on to everything, we can't bring in the new without stressing us out. The month will be harder for those who do not let go or reimagine or allow something to be lost in their life. Because once you do that, yes, it might be uncomfortable to let something go, but what happens next is we make room for better in our lives. So that's what decrease is all about. After a period of increase, which is what we've had a lot of, this is a month of decrease. It's of going back to the basics, doing the minimum, letting your clients know how much you appreciate them, which means the theme for the month is be sincere. Last month was about authenticity and being transparent with your clients and with your family and with your relatives, with your people in your lives. This is about being sincere, doing things for the right reasons. Do not be searching for how to gain more from your current client base. This is a time to find new clients, more people to spread out your sales instead of always going back to the same well, to the same people that buy from you over and over and over. So your focus ought to be on expansion in a sincere way and not continuing to go after the same clientele to buy from you over and over and over again. So let's take a look at what your personal chart might have in store for you. So again, at the beginning, I showed you a QR code that you could use to print your own chart or get your own destiny chart. And that's what we're going to use right now. But let's talk about what the month of March brings in terms of influencing us in our different charts. Let me move myself over here. So the theme again is being sincere. Our clash animal for the month is rooster. So the rooster and rabbit, I talked about rabbit being yin wood. Well, the rooster is yin metal. So it's a cutting. It's the potential for some small accidents and betrayal. The harm animal is the dragon. Now, we talked about that a little bit in the grand scheme of things, how it can be some unpredictability and things happening that you didn't expect. Well, if you have a dragon in your personal chart, this is when it's actually activated for you personally. So, not just on the global scale, but you personally. And then we have the sixth harmony or the special friend, rabbit and dog. So, dog is our sixth harmony for the year. Our three harmony comprises the pig, the rabbit, and the goat. Therefore, if you have pig or goat in your chart, you have what's called the three harmony combination for the month. Now, some of you who are new may not know exactly what I'm talking about. What I'd like you to do is use that QR code at the beginning of this video, find your chart, get your chart printed, or just look at it on a cell phone or your iPad or another device. And the chart will look something like this on the screen behind me. You will see our day, month, year, and luck pillar. This is your birth date transformed into a personal destiny chart. And you will see in the blue box animals that are circled in this example. Your animals may or may not be completely different than what are showing here. But you will be looking at your year, month, day, and hour animals and the little thing called the luck cycle, which is right here. Okay, so this is the luck cycle. You can see it says luck pillar right up there. This is a 10-year influence on your life. So this element and animal are influencing you right now at this current time. When you see these animals in your chart, it means they will affect you in a potential variety of ways. So if you have the clash in your year, in the year animal, it means it'll affect you as far as perhaps your friends will be going through issues. You might have some shakeups in your industry. Something happens on social media. People you know might be going through some shifts and changes this month. Now, if you have it in the month you were born, this is where there could be some impact to your career or impact at work or your performance or even on your money, your investments. If it's in your day, the day belongs to you. This is the closest to you. So it would be your spouse, it would be your house, your emotions could come into play. And then if it's way over there in the hour, this would affect things like your ideas, your creativity, your dreams. If you have children, it could be affecting them. It could shake up some of your investment thinking in a positive way or a negative way, depending on what the expression is bringing to your chart. So just know where the animals are located and if they're affected will impact your life in different ways, depending on the location they're found in. And then that little luck pillar that I talked about, if the animal is found there, it means that something you go through this month will have an impact. So just short term, something this month that you come into might have an impact this month. So the overall interactions with the rabbit worldwide, let me get myself out of here so you can see it. This is the 2024 Bazi chart with the month of the rabbit brought into play. I'll talk a little bit more about this right at the end, but you can see that the rabbit and dragon form a harm formation, which I talked about briefly already. And then the rabbit and the dog are combining together to create additional fire. This is already a pretty fiery chart. It's a hot chart because of all the wood. And then we have this full spring season combination, which is the rabbit, the dragon, and the tiger are all our spring animals, which brings more wood to the chart. So the earth is already really strong. The fire is strong because of all of the wood that's in this chart. So we're just giving it more of what it already is. There is an undertone of this entire year of anxiety, of fear, of frustration, of not being certain on what's going to happen next. This is why I say we need to be very protective of our emotions and our inner world. So I'll talk a little bit more about how to focus this month just before we close out the day. But what I want to go through next is the clash and combination, so you know if this is in your chart, how it might be affecting you. So let's start with the rooster. So the rooster is our clash animal with the rabbit. This is a wood metal clash. This always means that there's a higher chance of injury. Now, this is smaller injuries, cutting with a knife per se. I have rabbit in my chart, and every September is a rooster month, so I'm always a little bit more careful when I'm cooking or using knives or doing anything a little bit dangerous because I know the injury level is heightened in my chart. So this is for those of you that are rooster. You have a higher chance of injury this month. Just be a little careful, slow down, pay attention to what you're doing. This type of clash can also bring backstabbing and some betrayal, where you lose trust in someone or people are turning against you. They don't support you like they used to or have before. If you have rooster and rabbit in your chart overall, together in your year, month, day, or hour, it could be that there are some sex organ issues with you. I see this in women's charts where there could be problems with childbirth or even getting pregnant because of this combination. And then we need to talk about what you can do to offset and overcome that. So that's the rooster. Again, here's where you're looking in that chart you created. You are looking at your year, month, day, and hour of birth, and even in your luck pillar. So if you see rooster in any one of these locations, it means you have a clash in the month of March. Now let's take a look at the sixth harmony. I missed the dragon farm here. I'll get back to that, I hope, in a second. The sixth harmony is with the dog. If you have a dog in your chart, you actually have a combination. So there's a combining element. The dog and the rabbit like each other, and they come together and pop out an additional fire. Depending on what fire is to you will determine whether or not this is a favorable combination or not. Typically, when we see six harmonies, it is about networking, building your network, finding collaborations and partnerships. So typically it's on the good side, but it also depends on where it is and how it interacts in your personal chart. The three harmony is if you have a pig or a goat anywhere in those year, month, day, or hour, or your luck pillar. It means you have at least, if you just have a pig, you have the partial three harmony. If you just have the goat, you have a partial three harmony. If you have pig and goat, you have the complete three harmony, which pops out an additional wood. Now, just like the dog being a six harmony, this is usually always a good sign. When the element that is created is good, you will receive the support, help, and possible good news. If the resulting element is favorable, then the month is beneficial to you. If it's not favorable, in this case, you could have some overthinking going on. You could also have some blood pressure issues going on with the fire. But again, it just depends on what it is for you in your chart. Now, since I didn't have the slide with the dragon on there a second ago to show the harm formation, I just want to reiterate what that is all about. So when we see a harm formation, it really is a lesson in expectations. And specifically with the dragon and rabbit harm, it's a potential for legal issues. It's a potential for you to be more temperamental, having some behavioral changes. Let's say you just don't have any patience. We want to make sure that you're looking out and really being clear and doing a lot of documentation. So that is the rabbit and the dragon harm, because it can bring something unexpected this month. We also have one more formation, and this is if you have rat. If you have a rat in the year, month, day, or hour in your chart, this month forms what's called an uncivilized punishment. Now, punishments are something that not necessarily that we do to ourselves, but makes things a little bit unsettled for us. It's kind of the law of karma. Whatever you've done up to this point can throw things at you. And when we have an uncivilized punishment, it's the rabbit and rat. So the rabbit is yin wood, the rat is yin water. You think, well, water and wood should be a nice combination. Unfortunately, this water makes the wood grow too much, so it can become uncivilized. What we can see happen is there's a lot of temptation around you. There could be some sort of bodily sacrifice. Your body just betrays you in some way. And then the big thing to watch out for is know what you're committing to. If you say yes to something, make sure you're not overcommitting or committing just because maybe it's somebody you really like and just you say yes to them because you want them to like you too. Just know what you're committing to this month, or you could get into a situation that actually hurts you or is detrimental to you. If you have rat in your chart this month, the advice is to control your greed or wanting something so badly you'll do anything to get it. Okay. Also, know that judging others or being very judgmental of others will also activate this punishment. So, the advice is just look at yourself and work to be better every single day. Be a little bit better tomorrow and be a little bit better the day after that. Skew to the positive. Don't be talking about people behind their back because we don't want this one to get activated for you. So that is the look at how the Bazi chart is potentially influencing you this month. Let's talk a little bit about the feng shui formations. For those of you that follow feng shui, this is the flying star chart for the month of March. And in it, we see that the yellow square is down in the northwest. This is where our 5 yellow flies to. We want to keep the northwest fairly quiet and calm this month. You can indeed use it. There's some upheaval in that area of the chart. I would advise not using the northwest very much this month, but if you have to, don't worry about it. You can use it. Just don't activate it with loud pounding or loud music or moving your furniture around or renovating or anything like that, because that will trigger that 5 yellow in the northwest this month. Whew, that's a lot. So I want to just wrap up with saying some final thoughts about the month of March. Be conscious of the events that are unfolding throughout the month and stay aware of your personal triggers. If you know something bothers you, stay away from it. What are you working on in your life? And what is not working in your life? How can you make changes to make what's not working actually work for you, or let it go? Find a practice that anchors you internally. Maybe it's meditation. If so, there's a few free meditations on this YouTube channel that you can use. Maybe you like sound healing or healing with crystals or vibrational gemstones like I wear to help raise your own personal vibration. Find something that will center you and ground you this month. And as we continue through 2024, we do need to protect our emotional world. You may see people begin to spiral into fear and frustration, anxiety, anger, and confusion. And I want you to stay anchored and clear on what your ultimate goals of your life truly are. Have a great March. And until next month, may you slide into the energy of the fire rabbit, focused and calm. I'm Amy Tyson. I am a metaphysics coach and practitioner, and my ultimate goal is to help you design your life destiny beautifully connected to your divine source. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe to this page. Bye for now.